I told that we would have only 5 minutes. But after listening to the Secretary of Government for 5 minutes, I would like to follow that precedence. But having said that, I want to offer my very hearty congratulations to the President, my entire administration, the Chairman, and the people of Nigeria for this 1 year of democracy since the President was sworn in May last year. Again, because we have only 5 minutes, I'm going to try and keep it extremely short. At the end of my remarks, I would just take time to share something that I've always loved with you. A very short point by Khalil Gibran. From a private sector perspective, we note the remarkable progress that has been made in the port reforms. We also note the remarkable efforts to convert fiscal and monetary policies with both the Ministry of Finance and the Central Bank of Nigeria. We also note, of course, the massive efforts to sanitize the financial sector. We also note the efforts to rebuild the rail infrastructure. We also note government's commitment to continue to ensure the transparency of the electoral process. And I'm really delighted this morning to have Professor Nweke in the audience. And when I arrived here this morning, I congratulated him on the recent establishment of the Special Electoral Offences Tribunal. I think it's something that is really going to help us. Also note, of course, from the private sector perspective, the reforms going on in the power sector, in particular, the reforms to the tariff regime. Without the reforms in the tariff regime, there is no way any investor is going to put his or her money in that power sector. So we're really happy that both the National Electoral and Regulatory Commission, the Ministry of Power under the leadership of Mr. Martin have been working very hard to ensure that the policy environment for these investments to come, that these things are indeed bearing some fruit. We also note, of course, the tremendous changes taking place in the aviation sector. All the airports that have visited in the country in the last several months have witnessed massive reconstruction and acknowledgement by government that the movement of people, goods and services is indeed fundamental for the transformation of any economy. Having said all of this, we are however concerned, deeply concerned about the we're deeply concerned, of course, about so many other things in the country. We're deeply concerned about corruption within our system. We're deeply concerned about the massive scams in the pension sector. We're deeply concerned that some of the people involved in some of these scams continue to remain in service under the guise of the fact that the civil service regulations will not allow them to be disciplined unless you go through certain procedures. Even though they didn't go through any certain procedures when they were taking these monies. These are outright stealing of public funds. We are deeply concerned about this. We are deeply concerned because if these funds continue to end up in private pockets, what it means is that the infrastructure that we really need cannot be provided. Or if they are provided, there will never be enough. We are deeply concerned, of course, about the situation in the oil and gas sector. The Ministry of Petroleum, the Department of Petroleum Resources, the NNPC, all the scandals that have been unraveled. But I want to also, of course, pay my respects to the President. We hear that he's made very clear statements that all the people who have been found, the culpable in the investigation that have gone on, that they will all be brought to book. Nigerians await patiently the conclusion of the trial or prosecution of these individuals. But one thing is clear: Nigeria cannot develop by accident. Nigeria cannot develop by accident. Nigeria cannot develop through very conscious visioning and planning and commitment to implementation of the right policies over a very long period of the things that we know can bring us transformation. I also want to, of course, talk about the National Assembly. Today, the Nigerians are very concerned about what is going on in the National Assembly. And from time to time, they have found some kind of feed of inspiration and dealt with certain issues that, yes, serve the moment and serve our nation. And for this we commend them. But we do know today that there remains in the National Assembly over the last 8 to 12 years several vital, critical legislation that are conducive for economic transformation. And so I'd like to urge the National Assembly on this occasion, I say this on behalf of the private sector, that they must advance their minds to this critical legislation. One of them, of course, is the issue of the petroleum industry bill. Yes, we know that a fresh bill is being prepared for their attention, but we hope that when this fresh bill does get to them, that they will address these things in the immediate because of what it has done to that sector, and because all of us know that investors are indeed really departing in large numbers from this sector. Having made this very brief remarks, I will share with you 2 minutes a poem that I've read over and over again when I have felt sad about this country. I'm sure there's a whole lot of you in the audience who know about this, but I think whatever it's worth, just for us to know, given the quality of people that are here this morning. This is a poem by Khalil Gibran, and it's titled Pity the Nation. Pity the nation that is full of beliefs and empty of religion. Pity the nation that wears a cloth it does not weave, eats a bread it does not harvest, and drinks wine that flows not from its own wine press. Pity the nation that acclaims the bully as hero, and that deems the glittering conqueror bountiful. Pity the nation that despises the passion in its dream, yet submits in its awakening. Pity the nation that raises not its voice, save when it walks in a funeral, boasts not except among its ruins.